Imagine walking into a super crowded room and, like, before anyone even says a single word, you know exactly who is having a bad day, who has a secret crush, and who is just carrying around a really heavy heart.
Right, exactly.
For Pisces, that kind of emotional radar is, that is just a regular Tuesday.
Oh, absolutely.
But what actually happens when the universe cranks that sensitivity up past the max level and then, like, throws a rare protective shield around you just to see what you do with it?
That is the big question.
Welcome back to Horoscope TV. If you have the zodiac sign of Pisces, or if you love a Pisces, this podcast episode is entirely for you.
Yeah, you definitely want to hear this.
We are looking at the astrological charts and forecasts for the month of June 2026. You really need to tune in today because this month is just packed with incredible highs, like a rare magical shield of good luck and major career wins.
These wins, yeah.
But there are also some tricky, kind of foggy moments in your love life that you absolutely need to be prepared for.
I am so thrilled to analyze this today.
Yeah, it is a big month.
It really is. We are going to look at the astro data for June to help you navigate your personal life, your money, your health, and of course, your romance.
Right. And we want to make sure you know exactly how the planets are lining up in your favor.
Exactly. The charts for June 2026 show a month of really intense contrasts. You had this sharp clarity and then suddenly thick fog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and deep emotional release followed by this really sudden burst of ambition.
Yeah.
So we want to break down exactly why these shifts are happening for you.
That is exactly what we need, honestly, because, when people hear things like foggy moments or tricky alignments, they just tend to panic.
They do, yeah.
But once you understand how the whole cosmic engine works, it really stops being scary.
Absolutely. And this month, the engine is running super hot right from the starting line.
Yeah, so let us just jump right into the first week of June. Things get moving with this massive emotional wave.
They really do.
On June 7th, the moon enters the sign of Pisces. Now, obviously, a Pisces is already a water sign, right?
Right, exactly.
So they're naturally wired to feel things deeply. But what actually happens when the moon moves into their home territory?
Well, to really get this, we have to look at how the moon and water interact. I mean, in the physical world, the moon's gravity literally pulls the oceans, right?
It creates the tides.
Exactly. So in the astrological charts, the moon controls our internal emotional tides. It rules the subconscious and our moods and our intuition.
Okay, I'm following you.
So when the moon travels into a water sign like Pisces, it is essentially coming home. It is in an environment where it just completely thrives.
Oh, I see.
It is operating at its absolute peak emotional capacity.
So it is kind of like taking a powerful antenna and moving it to the top of a mountain where there is like zero interference.
Yes, that is a perfect analogy.
The signal just becomes incredibly strong.
That is exactly it. And the result is what I call the emotional sponge effect.
The emotional sponge.
Yeah, so your boundaries, those invisible walls that separate your feelings from the feelings of everyone else around you. Yeah, the things that keep us sane.
Right, exactly. Well, on June 7, those walls become very, very thin, like porous.
Oh, well.
You're going to easily pick up the hidden sadness of a coworker or like the unspoken anxiety of a family member.
Even if they do not say anything.
Even if they're completely silent. You will feel the mood of a room the second you step into it. The astro data shows that your intuition will not just be a quiet little whisper, it will be a loud, undeniable voice.
I have to pause you there, though,
Mm-hmm.
because being an emotional sponge, that sounds completely exhausting.
It really can be.
It sounds like having emotional Wi-Fi without a password. You are just automatically downloading everyone else's baggage.
That is a brilliant way to put it, yeah.
How do you even tell the difference between, okay, this is my own sadness and this is my best friend's sadness that I just absorbed while we were having coffee?
And that is the real challenge of this transit. Because the boundaries are so thin, the feelings just blur together.
Right.
Your nervous system is physically registering their stress as your own stress. Wow. That is intense.
It is. That is why I look at the charts for June 7 and see a day that requires really strict energy management. You absolutely must physically remove yourself from noisy, crowded environments.
So skip the crowded mall or the busy restaurant.
100%. The charts suggest that spending quiet time alone is vital, and specifically spending time near water.
Because Pisces is a water sign.
Exactly. Water is your natural element.
Yeah.
Being near it acts as a grounding wire.
Oh, I love that. A grounding wire.
Yeah, it takes all that excess emotional electricity you soaked up from other people and just channels it safely away from you.
So if you live near an ocean or a lake, definitely go there.
Yes, absolutely.
But what if you don't? What if you are in the middle of a city?
Then take a long bath. Or honestly, just stand in the shower and visualize all those heavy feelings washing off of you and going down the drain. You need a physical ritual to, wring out the sponge.
That makes total sense. And the outline also mentions making art as a way to protect your energy.
Yes, making art is a super practical tool for this specific astrological weather
How so?
because art completely bypasses logic. When you paint or write or play music, you are giving all that chaotic emotional energy a place to go.
Without having to figure it out in your head.
Exactly. You do not have to explain it. You do not have to put it into neat sentences. You just get it out of your body onto the canvas or a page.
You know, it is funny how we treat our emotional energy. Like, we would never let a total stranger walk into our house and just dump their garbage on our living room floor.
Right. No way.
But we walk around letting people dump their emotional garbage in our minds all day long.
We really do.
Setting that boundary on June 7 is so crucial because the very next day, June 8, the astro data shows a last quarter moon occurring exactly in your sign of Pisces.
The last quarter moon is such a fascinating phase. To really understand its impact, you kind of have to think about the lunar cycle as a breath.
Okay, walk me through that.
So the new moon is the deep inhale, where you are, setting intentions and starting new things. And then the full moon is holding that breath right at the top, full of energy and light.
I am with you.
But the last quarter moon, that is the massive, heavy exhale. It is the moment when the universe basically forces you to release the air.
Oh, wow. So on June 8th, the universe is forcing an exhale. It is demanding a release.
Yes, exactly.
The charts mention releasing old baggage, toxic habits, and beliefs that no longer serve you. But, I have to push back on this a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
This idea of letting go, it is such a popular buzzword. People say, just let it go. Like, it is as easy as dropping a heavy bag of groceries.
Right, like you could just flip a switch.
Exactly. But in reality, letting go of a bad relationship or a limiting belief, it feels awful. It feels like ripping off a piece of your own skin.
It really does.
Why is it so incredibly hard for us to let go of things, even when we know for a fact they are dragging us down?
Well, it is hard because human beings are biologically wired to crave safety, and the brain interprets familiar as safe.
Yeah.
Even if a situation is actively painful, if you wake up every day and know exactly what kind of pain to expect, your brain feels secure.
Because it knows the rules of the game.
Exactly. Letting go means stepping into the complete unknown. It means facing empty space. And the brain views empty space as a massive threat because it just does not know what will fill it.
That makes perfect sense. We would rather hold on to a familiar ache than risk an unknown future.
Yes, it is
Yep.
the devil you know versus the devil you do not know.
Right. But the astro data for June 8 is saying that this pressure to release is going to be stronger than that fear of the unknown.
Yes, the last quarter moon in your own sign gives you this moment of sharp, brilliant clarity.
Like waking up from a dream.
Exactly. You will look at a habit or a relationship and suddenly the illusion will just drop. You will see so clearly that the familiar pain is not keeping you safe at all. It is just keeping you stuck.
So what is the practical step here? Like when you have that moment of clarity and realize, wow, this friendship is actually draining the life out of me, or my belief that I am not smart enough is just a story I made up, what do you actually do?
You perform an act of emotional clearing. You empty the cup.
Empty the cup.
Yes. You might need to just sit down and have a really good long cry.
Which people hate doing.
They do, but crying is not weakness. It is a really profound physical way for the body to release stress hormones. It is basically the body's way of washing the internal windows.
I love that, washing the internal windows.
You have to empty your cup, pour out all the old stagnant water so that the universe actually has an empty vessel to fill. If your cup is already brimming with old resentments, nothing new can fit inside.
That is a beautiful image, emptying the cup. And it leads perfectly into what happens next, right?
It really does.
Because the charts show that right after you empty this cup on June 8, the universe immediately steps in to fill it with something extraordinary.
Yes, a benefic enclosure. Right, a benefic enclosure. Break this down for us because, benefic enclosure sounds like a legal term for a really nice zoo exhibit.
It does sound super academic, I know.
What does this actually mean in plain English?
Well, the mechanics behind it are actually wonderful. In astrology, the planets Venus and Jupiter are known as the benefics. They are the positive guys.
Okay.
They are the planets that bring growth, harmony, luck, and expansion. Venus brings love and ease, and Jupiter brings abundance and protection.
Sounds like a great team.
They are. An enclosure happens when your sign is quite literally sandwiched between these two positive planets in the sky.
So Pisces is just walking down the street and you have Venus on your left side and Jupiter on your right side acting like giant cosmic bodyguards.
That is exactly it. They act as a magical buffer. If a more difficult planet, like Mars or Saturn, tries to send some harsh, stressful energy your way, that energy has to get past Venus and Jupiter first.
And they are not going to let it through. Nope. Venus and Jupiter simply absorb the hit or completely deflect it. The result is this profound period of protection. It wraps you in a magical shield of positive energy.
Okay, I really want to explore how this actually manifests for a regular person.
Sure.
Because a magical shield sounds great, but we still have to, go to work, pay taxes, sit in traffic. How does a benefic enclosure show up on a random Tuesday morning?
It shows up as friction just disappearing.
What do you mean?
You know those days where every single traffic light turns green right as you approach it?
Oh, I love those days.
Right. Or say you realize you made a mistake on a work project and you were stressing out. You go to apologize to your boss and your boss just says, "Oh, I didn't even notice. Do not worry about it at all."
Wow. So the problem just vanishes.
Exactly. It's the absence of obstacles. Minor annoyances simply fade away without causing you stress. You will notice people being uncharacteristically kind to you.
That sounds amazing.
You will feel this deep, steady sense of inner peace, a feeling that no matter what happens, the universe loves you and you are safe.
Okay, let me challenge this a little bit.
Go for it.
If I know that I have Venus and Jupiter acting as my bodyguards, and I have this magic shield of good luck, the temptation is to just lie down on the couch, order pizza, and wait for $1 million to drop through the ceiling.
Right, the magical thinking trap.
Yeah. Do you still need to put in effort during a benefic enclosure, or is this a time to just coast?
Well, you still need to actively participate in your life.
Yeah.
But the nature of your effort changes entirely.
How so?
This is not the time for grinding, forcing things, or pushing a heavy boulder up a hill. When you have this much positive astro data surrounding you, you have to operate through the principle of flow.
Flow, okay.
You take action, yes, but you only take action that feels inspired and joyful.
Give me an example of the difference between grinding and flowing here.
Okay, grinding is sitting at your desk for 4 hours, forcing yourself to write a proposal because you are terrified of failing.
We have all been there.
Flowing is you go for a walk, you get a sudden brilliant idea for the proposal, you come back, and you write it easily in 30 minutes because the energy is just supporting you.
Oh, I see.
You do not stop acting, you just stop struggling. You trust the timing of your life, the universe is providing the wind, you just need to raise the sails and steer the boat.
I love that. You still have to steer, but you are not exhausting yourself trying to row against the current.
Exactly.
And speaking of exhaustion, let us look at the physical body, because we have talked a lot about emotional clearing and mental peace, but our feelings do not just live in the clouds, right?
Not at all.
They live in our muscles and our bones. And moving into the middle of June, the charts show a direct link between what is happening in the stars and how your physical body actually feels.
Yes, the mind-body connection becomes a huge central theme around June 13. We see Venus forming a difficult square aspect with Chiron.
Let us break both of those elements down. A square in astrology, that happens when two planets are at a 90-degree angle to each other.
Yeah. Yes, and it creates friction, tension, and a demand for action. It's kind of like two people trying to walk through a narrow doorway at the exact same time.
They bump shoulders, they get stuck.
Exactly. They have to figure out how to navigate it.
And Chiron is the planet, or technically the asteroid, that is trying to walk through the doorway with Venus. What does Chiron represent?
Chiron represents the archetype of the wounded healer. In the astrological charts, Chiron points to our deepest vulnerabilities.
Like ancient insecurities.
Yes, the deep sadness we carry with us, often from childhood. Venus, on the other hand, represents our values, our self-worth, and how we relate to other people.
Okay, so when Venus and Chiron bump shoulders in a square, what happens?
It triggers a sudden flare-up of an old emotional wound related to your self-worth.
So this is that moment when, a totally casual comment from a friend suddenly makes you feel like you are back in middle school being picked last for the kickball team.
Yes, exactly. It hits a very old, very tender bruise.
And because the mind and body are so connected, this flare-up of an emotional wound translates directly into physical symptoms.
It does. The brain actually processes emotional pain using the exact same neural pathways it uses for physical pain.
Wait, really?
Yes. So when this old hidden sadness bubbles up around June 13th, the astro data indicates you will feel it as complete physical exhaustion or totally weak.
It is so true. When you are carrying around heavy grief or profound insecurity, your body literally feels like it is made of lead.
It does.
You sleep for 9 hours and wake up feeling like you just ran a marathon. Your body is spending all of its internal resources trying to manage the emotional heavy lifting, so there is no energy left for your actual day.
That is the exact mechanism at play. Your immune system and your nervous system are just working overtime to process that Chiron wound.
Wow.
This is why it is so crucial to handle this exhaustion with real care, because the natural reflex when we feel this kind of heavy sadness is to reach for a quick fix to numb it. We just want to distract ourselves.
Right, the classic bad habits. Pouring an extra glass of wine, scrolling on social media for 3 hours until your eyes blur, or, eating an entire bag of chips without even tasting them.
Exactly.
We do anything to avoid sitting in the quiet room with our own sadness. But the advice here is the opposite of numbing, isn't it?
Yes, completely. Numbing the sadness only traps it inside the physical body, which just prolongs the exhaustion. The chart suggests that you really need to feel the feelings gently.
Feel them gently.
Treat your body with the same care you would offer a loved one who is recovering from the flu. Rest, drink lots of water, talk to a therapist or a friend you trust, and just let the sadness move through you.
So crying it out is far better than fighting it.
Way better. If you allow the emotional wave to break, your physical vitality will return incredibly fast.
It is like a fever breaking. You have to let the body do its work.
Exactly.
And the good news is, if you manage that heavy energy well on the 13th, the universe steps in with a massive boost a week later.
It really does.
June 21 marks the official beginning of summer, and the charts show a huge shift in health and vitality.
This is a beautiful turning point. On June 21, the sun forms a highly positive connection with that same asteroid, Chiron. We go from a stressful square to a harmonious flowing angle.
So things get easier.
Much easier.
Yeah.
The sun is the center of our solar system, so it represents life force, vitality, energy, and your core identity.
Okay.
When it connects smoothly with Chiron, the wounded healer, it acts as a laser beam of bright healing light directed right at those old bruises.
So if June 13 was the fever, June 21 is like waking up, opening the windows, feeling the breeze, and realizing you are completely healthy again.
That is a perfect way to put
The
it.
heavy weight is just gone.
It is. The sun's energy recharges your physical battery. It gives you the power you need to overcome minor physical pains or lingering illnesses.
It flips the script entirely.
It really does. You will feel a very clear, undeniable link between a bright, positive mindset and a strong physical body.
It sounds kind of like plugging a phone into a super fast charger after it has been stuck on 1% battery for a week.
Yes, you are back to 100%.
Since we have all this bright, healing solar energy pouring in, what is the action plan here? How do we capture this energy?
You capture it through healthy choices. This is the ideal moment to commit to gentle, consistent routines. Treat your body with love and respect.
So we don't need to sign up for a grueling boot camp.
No, not at all. Eat healthy food that makes you feel vibrant. Take a walk in the sun to physically absorb that solar energy. When you align your physical actions with this cosmic healing wave, your body responds incredibly fast.
That makes sense. You have the wind at your back, so even small positive choices will have a huge impact.
Exactly.
But, we have to talk about the hurdle at the end of the month. We get our physical energy back. But then on June 25, the charts show a real threat to our mental energy. The sun forms a confusing square with Neptune.
Yes, and this is a tricky one. We talked about squares earlier. They cause friction. But Neptune is a very unique planet, especially for you, because Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces.
Right.
It governs your imagination, your dreams, and your spiritual connection. However, its shadow side is illusion, confusion, and fog.
The fog. I always picture Neptune as this thick, heavy mist rolling off the ocean. You know it is there, but you cannot grab it, and you certainly cannot see through it.
That is exactly what it feels like.
How does this specific square between the sun and Neptune actually mess with our mental health? What is the danger here?
The mechanism here is about clarity versus fog. The sun wants things to be bright, clear, and defined. Neptune wants things to blur and dissolve.
So they are fighting.
Right. When they clash, your brain struggles to define where reality ends and anxiety begins. The fog rolls in and ruins your concentration.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
You might sit at your computer to work and find yourself just staring blankly at the screen, totally unable to string a logical sentence together.
And it does not just ruin your workday. The outline mentions it ruins your sleep, too. Why does a foggy brain keep you awake? You would think fog would make you sleepy.
Well, it is because the fog generates this low-level continuous anxiety. When you cannot see the road ahead clearly, the primitive part of your brain stays on high alert.
Oh, because it thinks there is danger hiding in the fog.
Exactly. It thinks, I do not know what is out there, so I cannot afford to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Your thoughts start racing, highly anxious, spinning in circles without ever finding a solution.
So you are lying in bed at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, worrying about a conversation you had 3 years ago.
Yes, exactly that.
Or stressing about a bill that is not even due for 2 months. Your brain is just spinning its wheels in the mud. What is the expert advice here? How do you get out of the mud?
You absolutely must cancel unnecessary plans.
Just cancel them.
Yes. If you are stuck in mud and you keep spinning the tires, you only sink deeper. The astro data for June 25 insists that you stop trying to force productivity. Give yourself permission to rest.
That is so hard for people to do, though. We feel so guilty if we are not producing something every single hour of the day.
We do, but fighting this Neptune transit will only lead to deeper exhaustion. You need to physically unplug from your phone and your technology.
Oh, the phone is the worst when you can't sleep.
It is. Screens emit blue light that tricks the brain into thinking it is daytime, which only makes the Neptune sleep disruption worse. Turn off the technology, read a physical book, and allow yourself to get some heavy, deep sleep to recover.
Give yourself grace. The email can wait until tomorrow.
It really can.
And speaking of things getting foggy and confusing, let us shift gears and talk about the area of life where confusion causes the absolute most chaos. Love and romance.
Oh, romance is a major focal point this month.
The forecast for June shows a lot of fairy tale moments, but also a lot of illusions. Neptune is the biggest troublemaker here, right?
It is. Early in the month, on June 4, Mercury forms a difficult square with Neptune. We just talked about the fog of Neptune. Now we are combining that fog with Mercury, the planet that rules communication and logic.
So the planet of talking is getting stuck in the planet of fog. That sounds like a really bad game of telephone.
It is exactly like a bad game of telephone. The mechanism of a Mercury-Neptune clash works by creating gaps in information. When your partner speaks, you do not hear the complete message.
And because the human brain hates incomplete information, it automatically fills in the blanks.
Precisely.
And let me guess, the brain does not fill in the blanks with happy, positive thoughts. It fills them in with our worst hidden fears.
You nailed it. If your partner is quiet during dinner because they simply have a headache, the Mercury-Neptune square prevents you from just asking, hey, do you have a headache?
Right.
Instead, the fog rolls in, your insecurities take over, and your brain fills in the blank with, they are quiet because they are angry with me. They want to break up. I knew I shouldn't have made pasta.
Oh my gosh, yes. You create an entire dramatic storyline based on an illusion.
Exactly. It'll be incredibly easy to completely misunderstand what your partner is trying to say.
How can we tell if we are seeing our partner clearly or if we are just looking through totally unrealistic glasses based on what we wish was true or what we are afraid of? What is the fix for this transit on June 4?
The only fix is honest communication and very direct questions. You must refuse to make huge assumptions based on your fears.
So, no mind games.
None. If you feel a shift in your partner's energy, you have to ask a direct question. And you have to trust their answer, rather than digging for a hidden meaning that does not exist.
Hey, you seem quiet tonight. Are we okay or are you just tired? Simple, plain English.
Exactly. Directness clears the fog.
Because if you can navigate that tricky mental fog early on, the reward in the middle of the month is spectacular. On June 17, Venus makes a stunning connection with Neptune.
This is the absolute highlight of the month for romance. On June 17, Venus, the planet of love, forms a trine with Neptune. Yes, a trine is an angle of 120 degrees. Unlike a square, which causes friction, a trine allows energies to flow together effortlessly.
So the fog of Neptune clears up, and instead we get the pure magic of Neptune.
Yes. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Venus rules human romance, like dates and holding hands. But Neptune rules universal, spiritual love.
Okay, I see.
When they connect in a trine, The boundary between human love and spiritual love vanishes. You experience a deep, soul-level merging with your partner. It is pure fairy tale romance.
What does that actually look like in the real world, though? Because it sounds beautiful, but a little abstract.
In practice, you will feel united on a deep soul level. You might find yourselves talking late into the night, sharing hidden dreams that you rarely discuss.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It is the perfect time to write a love poem or plan a highly thoughtful date and heal past relationship wounds with gentle compassion.
It is that rare feeling of being entirely seen and entirely accepted. Enjoy that fairy tale energy while it lasts, though, because the end of the month brings a classic warning.
It does. On June 29, Mercury goes into retrograde motion.
We hear about Mercury retrograde all the time, but in the context of romance, what is the specific danger here?
Well, the energy of the planet turns inward and backward. Instead of communication flowing outward into the future, it gets pulled backward into the past.
So expect lost text messages, delayed dates, and mixed signals.
Yes, and the classic symptom is the sudden reappearance of an old romantic partner. An ex might text you out of the blue.
And because you are a Pisces, an ex popping up is not just a casual event. It stirs up all the emotions.
It creates massive confusion. The retrograde creates an illusion of a second chance.
So when the phone buzzes at 11 p.m. on June 29 and you see a name you have not seen in 2 years, what do the charts advise?
The charts strongly advise you to avoid making any final, serious decisions about your love life during this time. Practice extreme patience. Do not leave your current partner for an ex.
Just put the phone down and go to sleep. Now, while we are looking deep at romance, I want to dive into the compatibility charts for June. Who is the absolute best match for Pisces this month?
The astro data clearly points to Cancer as your safest haven.
Why Cancer?
Both Pisces and Cancer belong to the water element. Water communicates through feeling and intuition, rather than cold logic. On June 1st, Mercury enters Cancer, opening a psychic, intuitive channel of communication between you.
You do not even have to speak to understand each other.
Right. When the moon enters your sign on June 7th and you are acting as that emotional sponge, Cancer is the sign that understands your need for safety.
And June 21 adds warmth, right?
Yes, the sun moves into Cancer, bringing a massive wave of warmth. During the magical June 17 Venus connection, your love with a Cancer feels like a total dream.
But the most interesting part is how you both handle the Mercury retrograde on June 29. How do you survive the chaos together?
By retreating. Cancer is represented by the crab, which carries its home on its back. When the world gets loud during the retrograde, you both comfortably retreat into a safe emotional shell together, just ignoring the loud world outside.
You pull up the drawbridge. I love that. You understand their need for safety, and they understand your need for imagination.
Precisely. It's a beautiful dynamic.
Okay, that is the dream team. But who is the worst match for Pisces this month?
The charts show a harsh clash with Aquarius.
Oh boy, why is that?
Aquarius is an air sign. They process the world through cold, abstract logic. Pisces lives in the heart. On June 4, the moon in Aquarius brings this cold, almost robotic energy.
So when you crave empathy, they just offer a math problem.
Exactly. June 15 makes them act wild and distant, triggering your abandonment fears. By June 25, you get a painful reality check that they really do not care about your emotional needs in the way you want.
And on June 29, during the retrograde...
That they use cold logic to completely dismiss your feelings.
Ouch. You think they are hurtless, and they think you are way too needy. It is a completely unmatched dynamic.
It really is. Best to just recognize the mismatch.
All right, so while you are learning to set boundaries and find safety in your love life, your daily work life is going to demand a lot of quick thinking and fast action. Let us transition to your career and ambition.
Yes, the professional sector of your chart is incredibly active, operating in two distinct phases.
Okay, what is the first phase?
On June 13th, the moon enters Gemini, activating your sector of foundations and quick communication. Gemini is fast, adaptable, and obsessed with gathering information.
So what does the daily grind look like here?
The mechanism is multiplication. You will easily juggle multiple small projects at once.
I feel like this is finally finding the motivation to clean out your junk drawer, but you are doing it for your entire professional life.
That is a perfect analogy. The action plan here is to answer emails quickly, organize your digital files, and handle all those ignored administrative tasks.
And by doing that, you become highly valuable to your team and your boss, right?
Exactly. Your brilliant mind will handle the chaos effortlessly. You just have to make sure you balance these work duties with your home responsibilities.
Which sets up the second phase perfectly. We move from organizing the small details to stepping onto the big stage. Let us talk about June 26.
On June 26th, the moon enters Sagittarius, putting a massive spotlight on your professional achievements and your career path.
A massive spotlight.
Yes, you will feel highly ambitious and ready to reach the absolute top. Sagittarius brings this grand vision and desire to aim high.
So people are going to notice you.
People in power will easily notice your natural talents.
So this is not the time to be humble and hide in the back row.
Definitely not. This is the absolute best time to ask for a promotion, present a big project, or take a leadership role. You must not hide your brilliant skills.
Walk in and ask for what you deserve. But, fire can burn, and ambition has a shadow side. As we reach the end of the month, that fiery drive to succeed threatens to spill over into areas where it does not belong.
This is a crucial warning. On June 28th, Mars enters Gemini. Mars is the planet of war, action, and raw physical drive. It gives you massive energy to conquer your goals.
Okay, that sounds good for work.
It is, but this intense fire happens in the area of your chart connected to your private home and family.
Oh, wow. So how do we push incredibly hard for a promotion at work without accidentally bringing that aggressive fighting energy back home to our family?
It takes conscious effort. You are riding high on this intense career ambition, your adrenaline is pumping, and then you walk through your front door. If you are not careful, you will treat your family like an obstacle to be conquered.
You will use your sharp words as weapons over small and silly things.
Exactly. The expert advice here is that you must completely avoid fighting with family members. You have to leave the work stress at the office.
You need a buffer zone.
Yes, burn off that Mars energy at the gym, or sit in your car for 10 minutes before you go inside. Protect the peace of your home.
That is so important. Now, if you can channel that hard work properly, it pays off in a very tangible way. Your hard work connects directly to the actual rewards showing up in your bank account. Let us look at money, finance, and building long-term wealth.
The financial forecast is thrilling, but it opens with a test of your discipline on June 9.
What happens on June 9?
The moon enters Aries, lighting up your sector of fast action. Aries is pure, unbridled fire.
Fire in the money house.
Yes. You will feel a highly intense urge to spend money quickly. You will see something online and feel this false urgency that you must buy it right this second.
So the money is just burning a hole in your pocket. What is the action plan to stop the bleeding?
We agree on this.
Yes.
If you see something you want to buy right this second, take a deep breath.
Walk away.
Yes, wait a full 24 hours before buying anything expensive so you do not completely drain your bank account. Delaying the action kills the impulse.
The 24-hour rule saves the day. And you really need to save that cash because just 2 days later, the universe opens a door to genuine wealth.
Yes. On June 11th, we see massive financial protection. Another benefic enclosure occurs, this time exactly in your money sector.
So Venus and Jupiter are guarding your bank account now.
Exactly. This highly rare astrological shield protects your current income and actively attracts wonderful new wealth.
Does money just fall from the sky?
In a way, yes. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. You might get a surprise bonus, a generous gift, or find a brand new way to make money easily. You can trust that the universe is fully providing for you.
That deep exhale when you realize you are financially secure, it is the best. And the smart choices you make now lead to the final money transit on June 24.
Right. On June 24th, the sun forms a helpful connection with the node. The node represents your destiny and long-term path.
So we are moving from quick luck to long-term foundations.
Precisely. The smart choices you make today will lead to long-term wealth.
It is kind of like planting a tree, right? You might not get to sit in the shade today, but it will grow to protect you and your finances for many years to come.
That is a brilliant analogy. The action plan here is to seek professional advice or finalize beneficial business contracts today. Keep your focus entirely on building a solid foundation.
Pour the concrete so the house stands strong forever. Now, as we wrap up, let me enthusiastically share your lucky numbers for the month. 3, 7, 8, 12, 17, and 24.
Keep those in mind for important dates or decisions.
And your color of the week to keep in mind throughout June is sea green. It is a perfect calming color for your watery nature.
It really is.
Let us summarize this incredible journey of June 2026. You are starting with deep emotional clearing, then moving through magical romantic highs and some tricky mental fog. You are climbing to the absolute top of your career, and finally, building real, lasting wealth.
It is a monumental month of growth.
It truly is. Do you have a final provocative thought for our listeners to take with them?
I do. When you feel that confusing, foggy energy from Neptune this month, What if you didn't fight it? What if that confusion is just the universe's way of forcing you to stop using logic so you can finally let your powerful Pisces intuition completely take the wheel?
Wow. Don't fight the fog. Let your intuition guide you through it. I love that. Thank you so much for listening to the episode on Horoscope TV. Be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified the moment our next episode is available. See you next time.